Now, today's guest is Joy, co-founder of Podbeat, a new app that lets you add a beat to any podcast or audiobook without disrupting the content. Joy spent over 18 years immersed in the Chicago tech and innovation scene and combined that love of technology, music, and wellness into Podbeat. Whether you're hiking, biking, or just cleaning around the house, Podbeat transforms how people experience audio. I'm excited to talk about her entrepreneurial journey, what she's seeing in the app and wellness tech space, and what's ahead for Podbeat. Joy, thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead and tell us more.
Thank you for having me. Yes, we created Podbeat about 4 years ago. It just started to become fully functional in the last 2 years. It was something created out of necessity for myself. I lost my sight for about 6 months.
Oh,
I
wow.
had a health condition that required a big dose of steroids, and I had early onset cataracts. And the surgeries and the hospital time and the 6 months of being completely sightless were driving crazy. So my husband bought a walking treadmill for the house just so I could keep moving. That's how I get everything out. I need to keep moving every day, just keep moving. And finally, I was listening to audiobooks and podcasts, and I was like, it's just not doing it for me. So he put a little beat behind what I was listening to on a speaker next to the treadmill so I could maintain energy and my beats per minute while walking. And we made a deal, if my sight returned, that we would make this an app for people that had challenges like this. And my sight returned, so we did. And Podbeat was born, and I hope that it's helpful to anyone that has a hurdle like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I've talked about that many times just in life, right? Like that would be one of the worst things to lose would be vision, right? Like I
Still shower in
yeah.
the dark. I really do, because I know where everything is.
Really?
Some things have not been lost in my brain.
Wow.
I don't even turn lights on in the morning. I adjusted.
That's a crazy story. What do you mind me asking what was the cause? What caused the vision to
It's awful. So I had Listeria. And
it's what?
Listeria, it's a foodborne illness that can be fatal.
Oh, wow.
And it just wrecked my organs. So they had to put me on a high dose of a steroid to make sure that things were healing properly. And that caused early onset cataracts for me. It happens in about 10% of people. So,
10% of people that are exposed to Listeria or
that are exposed to the steroid that I was on. But Listeria just is a nightmare to deal with. Every stretch, every idea that you can think of, it's a nightmare. But yes, so they had to put me on high doses of steroids, and that's what kickstarted the vision issue.
Wow. Well, I'm happy you got your vision back. That's freaky. That would be freaky.
I have the newest kind of lens that they can implant. And it's still, speaking of freaky, creeps my mom out because when they catch the light sometimes, they reflect.
Oh.
What is wrong with your eyes? My robot eyes, Mom. Like, it's just...
Well, yeah, that's, I just think that would be, it'd be crazy to lose your sight. I can't imagine that.
And that's why it is a good motivator to do something good with it. So then I don't have to think about how crazy it was. Then I can think about how I can make it beneficial.
Well, I thought it was really cool because, I was reading all about it, and, I went to the website, and I like how it's, just whether you're hiking, biking, or cleaning around the house, obviously, then it just, transforms how people experience the audio. That's a amazing idea. I
I like to listen to it when I take walks because I enjoy true crime, maybe too much. But I'm always it makes like a thing happen in my brain where I'm afraid of everything. So if I put on a trap beat, I feel tougher while I take my walks and listen to how some woman got killed. I could have promoted that better, but that's the truth.
No, that's good. It's dark, but it's good.
Yeah, that's about, you just summed up my personality, sir.
Can you share a bit about your role at Podbeat and what your focus looks like day to day as a co-founder?
Of course. I am the co-founder. So I do a lot of our dotting I's and crossing T's. So I got us into the Apple Store, which is a hurdle for any startup, if you know. It's just Apple is a whole other animal. And then with that, it came the state of Illinois laws and regulations and getting approved on all these things. And just, I do a lot of the administrative stuff. And my co-founder is an executive. Oh, okay, that one's going to go. My co-founder is an executive creative director. So he develops most of our content.
Okay.
So while I handle the business, he makes things pretty.
Well, the pretty part's important too, huh?
Yes, sir.
What trends are you noticing in how people are consuming podcasts and audiobooks and wellness-focused content?
It's funny. We are trying A/B testing with a lot of our advertising. So we do some AI ads and then some organic. And from what we've seen, it's really 50-50. So we were concerned about the AI because we don't want to be heavily based. We're a people-based company. The person that creates our beats is a human. We're both humans. Everyone we speak to, every podcast we do, human. So we try and stay away from that, but it's not like it's not out there. So it has to be done. And it's better to know the enemy than to just be like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
Right. I was just, I had lunch with a friend yesterday, and he owns a very big, successful company. We were talking about this and talking about AI and just how it's just going to be unavoidable, right? Like
Yes.
There's a big construction company here. I'm in Utah, and they have this robot dog that for 23 hours of the day, it roams the job site and taking, panoramics and 3D imaging, and it will automatically email different subcontractors of like, hey, you left this here or you didn't do this. And it's just crazy of, all this automation that's going on. But I think it's really cool myself, but some people are afraid of it.
Clean my house.
You what?
Can he clean my house?
I'm pretty sure that's coming, right? Like
the Jetsons in life.
I do. When he was telling me about this, I've never heard of this before. Of what he was, it's kind of hard to even imagine, but I don't know. It's impressive of the things that are being made.
Doesn't it make you feel a little old? It's like when my grandparents couldn't understand cell phones.
Yeah.
So I have to stay current. In the tech world, you have to stay current. So we go to a lot of tech conferences. We went to the Collision Conference in Toronto 2 years ago, and I was there to showcase women in tech because that's also another trend. A lot of females are seeing that we're not really in the space as much as we should be. So working on getting that out there and making sure we make an impact.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's I've definitely have met since I've started doing this podcast. I had one that I started at the front of COVID, and anyway, I transitioned over to this of more of a health and wellness focus, and I don't know, I think it's probably been more women that I've been talking to than men. So it's at least in at the health and wellness space. So
That doesn't
I'm
surprise me. It's
yeah.
when you get into more like the gym space and the fitness space that it's more masculine.
hmm Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Um, what how do you see music and rhythm intersecting with focus and fitness or even mental wellness?
Well, we don't do music. We do beats. I'm not trying to correct you. I just know that that's like a funny line. So you can listen to whatever you want. You can listen to, like I said, true crime, or you can listen to something political. You can listen to something funny and then add a beat to it. So you kind of create your own music. And our beats are done by Matt Drenick, and he created a 3-minute increment beat system because that's how your body responds while you're being active. For whatever reason, every 3 minutes, your brain kind of does a little reset.
Oh,
So our beats loop. You won't ever notice it, but they loop every 3 minutes just to keep you on track, keep you on pace, keep you energized.
wow. That's interesting. So I guess I didn't I guess I don't know that this is probably a dumb question. I don't know the difference between, I guess I figured beats were a form of music. Are they not?
There's no tone, so it's just like what you hear in the background of a song, not the
Okay.
actual song.
So by definition, it's not music.
It's just the beat.
Okay.
Have you checked out the app?
What's that?
Have you checked out the app?
No, I definitely want to because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I don't do a ton of podcasts, but I do a lot of audiobooks. So, yeah, I love audiobooks.
See if I can. No, just we have a ton of different beat styles. We have trap, we have reggaeton, we have hip hop, rock, and within each category, there are different beats to choose from. So, depending upon what you're listening to or your mood, you can add whatever beat you'd like, and then you can adjust the treble, the pace, and the volume.
Okay. And then so once you have it all adjusted and it just does its thing and
Then you do your thing.
it's, I definitely plan on checking it out. Cause like I said, I do listen to a lot of audio. The whole thing was fascinating me reading about it anyway, just cause this is like one of these things that you in life where you wonder how people come up with some of the stuff they come up with. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have all these like great ideas, but I've never had any. So that's
I don't believe that's true. You wouldn't have a podcast.
well, I mean, I haven't like I invented something, right? Like there's actually I have. I've had ideas. I have, and then I actually for one specifically for I was an artist for a lot of years, and I used to talk about a product. Oh, it's about 15 years I talked about this, and then eventually it was I bought one now, right? There, so I guess I missed the boat. I could have invented that.
Ownership? I'm
Uh,
sorry, I missed part of that.
oh, I could have invented that product that I was talking about, but I just talked about it for 15 years instead of doing anything about it, and then somebody else invented it. So,
Gotta
but
jump on that horse.
yeah, I was gonna say, but I guess I did have the idea. Um, but so what's going really well for Podbeat right now, and what are you most excited about?
Right now, we are, our hockey stick is doing well. We've just started to incorporate social media influencers as part of our marketing and ad campaign. And at first, I did not want to do that. But after the A/B testing of what responds the best, influencers do. So now we have found through a website people that are willing to promote the product in exchange for not a ton of money. And they usually have about 300,000 followers, if not more. And that gives us the ability to get that message out there to people that we normally wouldn't be able to connect with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the influencers are crazy, right? They have crazy reach. So yeah, it makes sense. I hadn't heard about it, but I'm not on social media a ton either. So, but I think it's a great idea. What would you say has been the biggest challenge in growing the app and adoption and marketing, partnerships, or what do you feel has been the biggest challenge?
How much time do you have? Um, no, just with every business, you fall on your face, learn. So at first it was the legalities of things. And then it was which platform suits us best. So we've narrowed that down, but that was a process, as it should be. You don't ever just like walk into it and be like, oh, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have those little benchmarks, we're doing better than we have in the last 6 months.
That's great. It doesn't sound like a simple process.
It's not, but worth it. I hope. I like it. If anything, we've created something that can be helpful.
I think so. Like I said, I do. I'm not just saying this. I do want to. I'm going to download it, and
I feel like
I
I've
said,
bullied you into that.
no, I planned it. I found it when I was reading about it, I already found it very, very interesting. So, yeah, I'm not just saying that. I think it's a really good idea. It's very creative to come up with that idea. I mean, obviously podcasts are huge, and audiobooks are huge.
I'm going to get the podcast numbers wrong, but I think they're about 6 billion.
Wow.
And anything can be turned into an audiobook. So that is limitless.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were that many podcasts. That's crazy.
So,
what are there any specific milestones you're tracking this year? Like whether that's downloads, engagement, or community building?
our impressions are going up a lot. So we are doing the right things. It's just a slow process. We also do a lot of foot traffic, which I've always learned is how you become successful. You knock on doors, you talk to people. So when we're out, my co-founder and I, my husband, will have a stack of business cards for each of us. And if we see people that we think would benefit from it or would enjoy it, we'll go over and say, hey, do you like podcasts? Do you like audiobooks? How would you like to add a beat to it? This is Podbeat, QR code, easy download. If you want to do it for free for 3 days, that's all you have to do.
Oh, perfect. So somebody can check it out for a few days, like a little trial.
We do have a 3-day free trial, yes.
Oh, perfect. I think that's nice too, because it adds more of a personable side to it too, where you guys are like meeting people and like you said, the actual like human engagement.
It takes everything. It really does. I mean, you have to not just think about what looks good on paper. You have to trust your gut. So if you see someone that you think might like it, I've given it to Uber drivers. I've given it to people in hotels. I mean, it's just, if you feel like it's a good opportunity, you take it.
Right. Yeah, that's so how was this whole idea born? Like, I mean, I understand the backstory, but how were you just like, you know what, who came up with the idea of the beat?
Well, once we started, my husband and co-founder has a friend, his name is Matt Drenick, that he's done work with in the past. So he does all of our beats, and he contacted Matt. He was like, hey, I've got this idea. It's kind of crazy. Let me know. So Matt just like spit out a ton of beats for us. And then we started to formulate the plan of how to make them neat and categorized and efficient. But we also had to do something that was almost impossible. A lot of iOS systems won't allow you to play 2 sources of audio at the same time. So we had to graduate from the first development team that we were using to a more senior development team because the coding was so involved to make sure that we could have people be able to play a beat and a podcast or audiobook at the same time without messing anything up. So once that was done, we're like, all right.
And the hardest part was done.
Yes.
As far as the combination goes.
Don't jinx me, sir.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating. It's always interesting to me how these things are born with people, right? Like these innovative ideas that some people get. Unfortunately, it sounds like yours was a really negative one that turned into a positive one, but
I think about that a lot, but when I was going through the process of figuring out what it was like to be normal again, for lack of any other way to describe it, it gave me something to focus on. So there's a lot of positives that have come from it, and I wouldn't change that for anything.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. It's obviously always the best way to look at things, right? It seems like there's always positives in there to, you know, in negative situations.
I have rainbows and puppies shooting out of my belly button.
You what?
I have rainbows and puppies shooting out of my belly button. I try and be very positive because that's what you cling to.
It's true. There's something that my dad used to say when growing up, and it's always stuck with me. But he would say, you know, no matter how bad it gets, there's always somebody that has it worse than you.
Absolutely.
And it's true. It's true, and it puts things in perspective, right? Because you're like, well, geez, it could be this much worse, right? Like it. Just I don't know. It's a little way of, I guess, correcting, you know, negative thinking, but. So looking ahead, the next 6 to 12 months, what would success look like for you in Podbeat?
Our numbers need to go up. We're not profitable at this point. We're almost breaking even, which for a startup is decent, but it's frustrating every day when I look, and it's just so much time spent on advertising and so much money spent on that activity, and then to just watch it not bring in the return, that's frustrating. So my goal is to make sure that those numbers start to become more even.
Yeah, I think
refuses to look
obviously
at
obviously that's necessary, right? With your journey with this with this app. I mean, I definitely will you know, spread the word as much as I can.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had a great journey so far, even though you're still in the I don't want to say the baby stages, but you're
I would say we're still embryos. I mean,
yes.
we don't have it all figured out. We're on the way to, but who knows? You and I could have this conversation in 10 years. I'm like, yeah, still have 200 followers. Doing great.
I mean, I don't think so. I think it's I think you're gonna. I mean, from the sounds of it and what it does, I would think that a lot of people would use it. It just people need to know about it, right? Like it's.
And that's the other thing with our model, because it's such a niche space. There's no search engine optimization for it, so you can't really. There are no target words. There's no way to search for adding beats to a podcast. So
Right.
that's another hurdle that we face.
Right, because nobody's done it, right? Like it's you're paving the way for this idea.
Trying to create the wheel that seems to have a bunch of flat tires.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to pay off. I do. I think it's a great idea.
I appreciate that.
Hypothetically, if you had a magic wand to fix one thing with Podbeat right now in your business right now, that's either holding you back or slowing down your progress towards that goal, what would that be? Just millions of people knowing about it?
That would be a perk. I'd also, if my magic wand had money, because we're bootstrapped, we have no funding. This all comes from the other hard work that we do. So our ad spend is coming from our savings, and that makes me insane some days.
Right.
So yes, funding would be cool if we found the right people to partner with, but we haven't got there yet. So that would be what would drive us. And I was actually just speaking with someone about this. We need to find someone notable to help us promote it on a larger scale. So my husband works with a lot of celebrities, but he's very professional with them. And I'm like, you don't have to tell them about it, but then they get a little loose at dinner. I'm like, just for dinner. So I planted that seed, but I'm never going to push it because I don't want him to lose his reputation because he's trying to work side. I almost said side piece. That's not what I meant. Side job.
Well, and what's crazy is you probably would only need one of those really good ones, right? Like somebody that has like a really like huge following, and it probably wouldn't even need I think that would probably be even a big enough push to get enough people to know about it, then to get people talking. And
it's funny. He just did an ad with, and forgive me if this is a name drop, but nothing came of it and nothing happened. It wasn't even brought up during their conversation. But he just did an ad for the Super Bowl with Harrison Ford.
Oh, nice.
He came over and Nathan was fiddling with Podbeat. And he's like, what is that? Is that the replay? He's like, no, this is the replay. So he doesn't mention it, and I respect that, nor should he. But just going to try and find the right one that gets drunk enough.
I think, what about if maybe you just, I don't know, maybe if the agenda wasn't to, sell it to somebody like that, if more you're just sharing something you're excited about, you know what I mean? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with that, even if you are the founders to talk about it, right? Like
I agree with that, but in the same vein, in that industry, you always feel like you're being sold on something.
That's true. I can see that. Yeah, because they get it all the time, right? Like it's somebody trying to get something out of them, right? Like I'm sure that's a constant. So yeah, I see that. That makes it a struggle.
Wouldn't be a startup if it weren't.
Yeah. What can you give us any information as far as, I mean, obviously it's just Podbeat and the Apple and Google Play Store. You have a website because I've been to it.
Podbeat.com.
Podbeat.com.
We also are on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Threads. So if you check out any social media outlet and search Podbeat, we're in your face. We do daily posts.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, Joy, it's been a fun and inspiring conversation. I do love how Podbeat is reimagining how we experience podcasts and audiobooks, and I'm downloading it when I get off this.
I'm going to hold you to that.
And I am. I'm serious. I'll download it as soon as we're done.
I'll check your phone.
Do you have anything else as far as connections go that you wanted to share, or is that it? You shared it all.
The thing I'll say is when it gets tough, just bleep the profanity. Tell everyone to fuck off. It's hard. This is a hard business. It's hard to do, and it's never going to be easy. So when it gets a little murky, or you feel like there's no better way to do things, take a deep breath. Have a snack. That's what helps me.
All right.
And keep moving. Just keep moving.
I think it's great advice. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll make sure to share the links to everything in the notes and the description. And thanks again for joining us on Holistic Voices. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, and stay tuned for more conversations with leaders in health and wellness innovation. And I appreciate it, Joy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.